Outwitting the Germans tomorrow on 4. 3 British airmen seek protection among 2,000 women. A Second World War drama that would have made Churchill proud. At 10 to 2 tomorrow.
Flashback to the day when the nights were young.
God, I'm trapped in 70s hell and I can't get out.
Is it in your kiss or just because you're sweet?
And he's having a great time.
Flash forward to Wednesday at 10, Annie McBeal on 4.
Another day, another challenge and another winning watercolour. Stay with us for an artist's view of Henley next.
Catch up on the latest makes and breaks. Friday on GMTV, the new season of Hollywood Gossip with Mark Frieden.
Isn't she a beauty? If you're my vintage and you remember the golden days of motoring, you've reached the age when you are guaranteed to be accepted for low-cost life insurance from Sun Life. As little as £6 a month can put you on the road to real peace of mind with a substantial cash sum payable on death. This money could go towards funeral costs or help provide for your loved ones. You won't have to visit your doctor or answer any health questions to get this valuable cover. Find out more about the over 50 plan. Call free now on 0800 60 80 10. You'll receive this helpful information pack and a personal quotation by post. You'll be under no obligation and no salesman will call. Choose one of these attractive free gifts to welcome you as a policyholder. Your first month's cover is free too. The over 50 plan can help get your finances into great shape, just like this classic. Get on the road to lifelong protection and peace of mind today with the over 50 plan from Sun Life. The lines are open, so call now.
All right.
Wow.
No, that one's mine, that one's yours.
Why?
I did all the cooking.
So?
So I peeled all the potatoes, I chipped them, you know, I fried them.
Fine.
That's all right, there's plenty there for you. That chip pan, it's scrubbed, you wouldn't know I'd used it.
What chip pan?
What chip?
Home fries from McCain. The oven chip that tastes as good as a fried chip. McCain. You just can't help yourself.
Introducing the new album of the Three Tenors, Paris 1998. The concert of the century from the world's greatest tenors. The Three Tenors in Concert, Paris 1998. Buy it now on CD and cassette.
Ever dreamed of becoming a millionaire? Don't miss the official Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game card, free only with tomorrow's Sun.
I'm going to eat a whole Victoria sponge all to myself.
Oh, very clever.
Exceedingly.
Exceedingly good mini classics from Mr. Kipling.
This is Nigel Slater, award-winning food writer with a passion for real food. Nothing fancy for Nigel, from chicken to ice cream to cheese. And what he does with chocolate will make your mouth water. Now he's got a television series, Nigel Slater's Real Food, next Thursday at 8 on 4.
The head is most always the easiest part to do because these things, all these things want to do is grow straight up. Then it's what the arms.
The animal's coming after you with the idea of tearing your head off. You put the chair up, and all of a sudden he has 4 points of emphasis.
1% of their musculature is in their jaws. So the amount of pressure they have when they bite is amazing.
I'd forgotten that this physical thing was what I was trying to get to work, and then it happened.
Hello, and welcome to the grand finals week of Watercolour Challenge. During the past 9 weeks, we've been travelling through England, Scotland and Wales, setting amateur artists the challenge of painting scenes typical of their area. At the end of each week, we picked a regional winner. And this week, all of those 9 regional winners are back with us again to compete for a place in the grand final on Friday. Well, this week and today, the rules are as ever. 4 hours to paint their painting, and then we pick a winner. All this week, we're visiting the Thames Valley, and today we're in Cookham near Henley. We'd like our painters to tackle this view of the village church, St John's, so let's go and meet them. Our finalist from Lincolnshire is Ray Twigg. He painted Brown's Hospital in Stamford in his first appearance on Watercolour Challenge. This is his picture of Elton Hall near Peterborough, which won the regional final. Sally Chappell painted this scene of Acton Scott Historic Working Farm in the first round, and she won the Shropshire Regional Final with this view of Iron Bridge. Jason Lilly is our finalist from Brighton. In the first round of Watercolour Challenge, he painted this view of Charlton Farm, and this view of Sussex Cricket Ground was the picture which won him a place in today's contest. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Heather. Great to see you again. Everybody all right?
Yes.
Now, I should explain that our friend here paints on his knees, not because we're in a churchyard, but because he paints on his knees. It's as simple as that, correct?
That's right, yes.
Anyway, if anybody knows the rules, it's you lot. So I will just, however, repeat them in case you have forgotten. 4 hours to paint your picture, and your time starts now. As always, the very best of luck.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I want to try and keep the church fairly neutral, fairly low-key. I think in order for the foreground to stand forward and to express itself, the church really does have to be not as detailed as I would probably like to paint it. I don't want it to become too busy. I've moved the large tree towards the left. It's a bit centrally positioned and it's too much in the middle of the picture at the moment. I think that'll create quite a nice frame to the main subject. I work mostly from photographs and sketches, so working outside has been a challenge, and it's going to be a challenge again today.
When I arrived this morning to see what we were going to paint, I was really delighted. It's an airy sort of churchyard, and yet it still has a coziness which appeals to me a lot. I've cheated quite a lot in as much as all these stones that I've got in the painting are actually not in the places where they are in true life. But for my purposes, I'm quite happy to juxtapose them to get some sort of rhythm going in this lovely foreground section here. In fact, I'm very tempted to go to the older section of the churchyard and steal one of their tombstones from there because they're delicious.
Such a tactile church, all the flint on the side. It's a very interesting sort of texture to actually try and create. I put the emulsion on to bring out the three-dimensionality of the view, also to make it quite tactile as well, which the church definitely is with all the flint. I've rearranged a few architectural features on the church so far, and also missed out a few trees, but I will indicate that they actually exist on the painting.
Well, the last time I saw you were painting cloisters. Now it's a church. Is this lending a certain spirituality to your work, Ray?
Yes, I've got very religious since I started doing this, yes.
Well, it's a very nice composition, I'll tell you that. Now, you've moved that wonderful cedar, haven't you, to the left a bit?
Yes, I have.
It's nice because it's revealed that lovely buttress there, too.
Yes.
It's very nice.
Yes.
And the path, too, that's an invention, is it?
Yes, I've moved that as well, simply to get the eye moving into the picture again.
Yes. Terrific. Looks lovely. Oh, Sally, that's great. There's a wonderful kind of crazy topsy-turvy look. As I look at that, the stones are all a kilter. Why have you done that?
Well, essentially because if you go to any churchyard that's got a little bit of age to it, you find that the symmetry of the churchyard as it's set out has actually altered with nature itself, where ground upheavals take place, and then you get this wonderful tilting of the tombstones.
That's
It gives it
absolutely the right word, yes. And that tree, now, at the moment, it's sort of stopped there. What's going to happen there?
Well, the tree will actually overlay onto the sky.
Right,
yeah.
right. Wonderful sky, actually. Lovely kind of blustery look. Relevant to today.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hi, Hannah.
Jason. Oh, it's looking great. Wonderful palette of colour there. Now, if anybody was to say, why do you use emulsion? What's your answer?
Well, I think if you limit yourself with watercolour painting, it's such a lively, versatile medium that if you don't try and experiment and push the idea of watercolour, then you do tend to lose, you know, your own personality onto the piece.
Yes, that's very important to you, isn't it?
Very much so.
Bit of soul and everything.
Exactly.
So interesting. I really look forward to seeing that develop.
Cheers,
Super.
thanks.
Hello, Danny. How smart you look.
Thank you, Hannah. Not so bad yourself.
Thank you. Every day on Watercolour Challenge, we've been joined by a professional painter as expert and judge. Well, today's expert is Grenfell Danny Clark. Now, Danny, before we talk about today's challenge or how they're doing or anything, I'd like your views on how Watercolour Challenge has gone as far as you're concerned.
Well, I've enjoyed every single minute of it. It's been a great experience for me. And I always enjoy people filling a blank sheet. They're all winners to me. Somebody has a go. And the ones that have come back who've won the heats, they come back as sort of seasoned professionals. And they're so confident. Everyone has grown from the experience. It's been great to see.
Terrific. Wow, I couldn't agree more. Now, what about today's challenge then? What have they got to look out for?
Well, today's challenge, it's manoeuvrability and process of elimination. Again, we have the business of perspective and trees. And these gravestones, we shuffle some gravestones around. We're in the more modern sector part here, but there's some lovely old gravestones around the back. You know, you've got to whiz a few at the front of the foreground here. And the other thing, it's a static subject, but it doesn't have to stay static. There's lots of atmosphere and magic about these places, a spiritual feel. You can give a dreamscape effect to this and link some of the poetry off the gravestones.
Great.
We can be very ethereal here as well.
Come on then, how are they all getting on so far? Start with Ray.
Ray, very compositional, very representational and very objective. 3 different approaches as usual. Sally has gone to a random approach, gravestones floating about everywhere, and Jason is his own man. I saw him, he works flat, he kneels down. You see, guidelines are just guidelines, not impediments, and that philosophy Jason has a go. So we've got 3 different artists with 3 different approaches today.
That's terrific. Well, every day this week, it is very exciting. I mean, there's a real kind of, not competitiveness, but a real kind of charged feeling, and it's very exciting, isn't it?
And we're all mates as well, which is good.
Good.
The painter Sir Stanley Spencer was born in 1891 in the village of Cookham, just a mile or so from where today's painters are working. Spencer called Cookham a village made in heaven, and in many of his most famous paintings, he peopled its familiar streets with biblical figures. He served in the army in the First World War, leaving behind a half-finished painting. In this passage from his notebooks, he describes his desperation to return home and complete it. As the war drew to an end, it became agonizing to me, wondering if I should be snatched away. Apart from greed for life, I felt I'd got a lot up my sleeve that I wanted to produce before I died, and every day I was being detailed off for worse and worse dangers. It can be imagined what I felt when I did at last, in fact, walk into my bedroom at home and see this picture leaning with its face to the wall. I walked round the bed to it and laid my hands on it once more. The painting was, in fact, his famous picture, Swan Upping at Cookham.
Half-time, and all's well, I hope. Is it? Clutching your head there. Ray's laughing, that's all right. And no wonder. That's great. Now, you've started on some exciting greens there. What are you using?
Well, mixtures. There's quite a lot of different types of green out there. So I'm using lemon yellow, a bit of ultramarine, bit of cadmium.
Yes, it's lovely, because the building itself is quite sombre. I mean, it's beautifully proportioned and beautifully drawn. Are you up to time? Quite pleased with the way it's going?
Reasonably, yeah.
Great.
Not too bad, thanks.
Good. Sally's working away here.
Oh, thank you, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Losing control here.
No, you're not, by no means, if I may say so. Now, the windows are beautiful. They're stained glass, aren't they?
Yes, they're nice inside, actually, when you go into the church.
You've been in and had a look round and everything, have you?
Yeah, I did.
Right. So you've left white behind,
Yeah,
haven't you?
I've done a bit of dry brush technique there, just to give the specular quality of the glass a bit of a chance to come through.
Mm.
If you make it too solid, it doesn't look like glass. It just looks like a block.
A block, sure.
Yeah.
It's looking lovely.
Thank you.
You've got legs!
I have,
You stood up.
Below the knees.
Below the knees. Wow. Now, I want to talk about that bit on the right, that lumpy bit there.
That lumpy bit there.
You don't... He's just put his foot... Can I do that too?
You can. You can't be too precious
do
about
it.
your paintings.
No, I couldn't do that to your picture. My foot wouldn't move. Now, tell me exactly how that's going to... You put the emulsion on there.
Yeah, and basically because it's slightly on a relief, the pigment sinks down into the troughs and gives a lovely little effect.
Right.
So that's why it's coming on.
It is coming on. Again today, 3 smashing paintings, all very different approaches, all very talented artists. Come back in a few minutes to find out who is going to be the winner today.
Does my bum look big in this?
Big? The amount of low-fat food she eats, I'm surprised there's any fat left. I mean, take Kellogg's Special K. It's 99% fat-free. I'm living in a fat-free zone. The daft thing is, she always looks great to me.
Kellogg's Special K. Stay special.
Scotland. It stays with you.
Business is usually about competition, but right now...
It's about collaboration. The Millennium Bug will affect every business in the UK.
Companies with under 500 employees are least prepared.
If you rely on any form of technology,
this issue affects you.
It isn't just an IT issue, it's a business issue.
We all rely on each other. If your business is affected...
It could affect mine. Action 2000 has been set up to help.
We've produced this pack. It tells you the steps you need to take.
So start now.
Because it doesn't matter what business you're in.
You need to be in the business of getting ready.
Act now. Call 0845 601 2000 for your free action pack.